Hi traders and welcome to the PL Capital Market Review. I'm your host Paul. Today is Saturday, June 24th. In this video I'm going to look at the S&P, Nasdaq, Russell, and oil. So let's start. All right, we'll start with the upcoming economic calendar. And moderately busy week. You got durable goods and new home sales on Tuesday. The trade balance, I don't think that'll matter too much. But you do have Powell speaking on Wednesday and Thursday, so who knows how how the market will react to whatever he has to say. Jobless claims on Thursday, and then core PCE for the month, and personal income and spending and consumer sentiment on Friday. So definitely some stuff that can move the markets this week, but I don't think anything too extreme on those days. All right, let's look at the charts. I'm going to start off with the S&P. This is the futures contract. And all week just kind of grinding down here. But I still think that this is just a correction for one more up. So if we zoom in, I've got this as like a leading diagonal coming down here and then corrected up and then broke it. But what I see so far is it looks to me like you got like a 1, 2, 3 there, and then a 1, 2, 3 there, and then a strong move down. So it could be, I see two patterns that are possibilities. This, let me zoom in. This down to here, that 3 wave, that's A, 3 wave up for B, and then this could be C, so A, B, C, because you had this 5 wave. I think that could be A, B, C down to here. Could get a strong up for C, and they could create a running flat, or they could push it up here and create an expanding flat, some type of flat. So an A, B, and then C somewhere here, and then one more down before they head up. So that's one pattern that I see. The other pattern then would be that they're creating just an ending diagonal here. So here's a leading diagonal down, corrected, and now this 3 wave was 1, that's 2. This is just 1, though, they already corrected up. I would think that they might come up one more time, but they don't have to. So that's 1, that's 2, and then this is 1, 2. They'll break this low again. That'll be 3, then they'll correct for 4, and then go down for 5 one more time. So all in all, then that'll just be like an A, B ending diagonal for C, and then head up. So I don't think the down is done yet. Either pattern. I don't think the low is in. I think it'll still be kind of just choppy, whatever pattern is playing out up and then down. So just kind of a little bit more sideways. It's not super impulsive, but I think it's still just a correction. Now we'll have to wait and see when this pattern plays out. So let's say like it is, they do create, let's say, a running flat here. So they'll push price up. Oops. Push price up to there, break that low, and then that, there's your, I think, A, B, C. And it'll be at this point that we'll have to see, because if this comes like real strong, well, then the top could be in, and then this is 1, 2, and then they're coming down, for a 3, give you a 4 and a 5, and now all of a sudden you got an impulse, and it's looking more like we're not going up to break that top. But I still, based on all of this stuff over here, I still see like there has to be one more wave up. So yeah, so for now I think it's just going to be kind of choppy. 1 or 2 patterns will play out, and then they'll break this low one more time, at least one more time, and then we got to see the reaction after that break of 43.81. All right, Nasdaq. Yeah, so pretty much the same thing. I've got, actually, let me go to this chart here. Now the Nasdaq is a little bit different. So the Nasdaq, I got so far like a W, X, and a Y. And this, for right now anyway, I've got it labeled as like a leading diagonal. Now, because it's a WXY, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that could be like WXYXZ for the X. So then that'd be WXYX, and now we're going down. And I do see 5 waves down to here in a diagonal format. And so far we do have a 1, 2, 3, and then it started selling off again. So it for this pattern, for the Nasdaq, I see one of two things again. So it's just like the S&P, either that's all the correct. Well, actually, I guess the Nasdaq has 3 patterns. This is all the correction, and this is a leading diagonal. But the problem with that is that I see this as 5 waves too, and that doesn't look like a WXYXZ. So I think that is a leading diagonal, which means I think that's your A, B, C correction, and they're going to come and break this low one more time, and then it'll be in between these that'll be really interesting to see, because it could be that's A, B, the come down, break this, but not break 14,964, come back up. So then this would be like an A, B, and then they'll come back up and break that top, 15,238, and then still come down for one more. So then it'd be a big like WXY, X, Z, and then go up. So that's one pattern, and like I said, the other pattern that I think actually probably would make a little bit more sense is that this is WXY, came up for X, and now they're coming down for the Z wave, and that's three waves. And so far you got leading diagonal, A, B, C. So that'd be 1, 2, and then they'll come and they'll break, definitely break that, but they'll have to come and break this 14,964 for the Z wave, and then come up. So because I see this as WXY, that's why I think there's one more up, and if the Nasdaq isn't going to go that far up, the S&P isn't going to be just hanging down south. It's going to follow the Nasdaq too. So yeah. So I like this pattern to play out better. So WXY, and instead of this being a leading diagonal, that'll be X, and then they're coming down 3 waves for this Z wave, and then when they break 14,964, this somewhere down here, I'd be looking for, well, 1, at least a correction, but 2, probably a reversal to come back up. All right, Russell. All right, I'm going to zoom out here. So the Russell's in a very interesting place. I think all these are actually in a very interesting place. So, like I said last week, I see this as 1 and 2, and then you got this 3 wave pattern here. Oops. So you got 3 down, and then so far we've got 3 up. Now I thought there was still one more to come and break it, but that's clearly not. They broke this low. So I thought there, I thought that was four, and then they had three more waves, and I thought that was one, two, and then they would come up and break this one more time for the fifth wave for like an ending diagonal. But they broke that, so that invalidated that. So I see one, two, and then three waves up to there. So one, two, three. So you got three down, and now you got three up. And so now when we zoom in, it's a clear one, two, and three, and it might not be done yet, but you got three waves. So this is very interesting now. What's the Russell going to do? Because we got three down to here, I think that could be one, and then you got three waves up, and that could be two, and then one, two, and three. Now, so now if they reverse and come back up, then it's looking, like we could be in the start of like a diagonal for the Russell. So that's why I think this is critical area for the Russell. One, two, three. I think that's two, but if they come and break it, then it's obviously not a two, unless they're creating like a WXYXZ pattern. I don't know that. It's pretty flat looking, so that's a possibility. But for this to start to go down, one, two, you'd almost want to see this like just correct a little bit. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna get rid of all this. You'd almost want to like see like just a little correction and then one more down, and then you'd have like an impulse, and then that'd be looking more like they'll correct and then still be coming down, and then it's looking more like they're on their way down for three. So this is going to be interesting, because right now the Russell's getting really close to being like oversold here. So there has to be a correction. So what kind of correction? Is it just going to be like a little three wave and then they drop down again and now you got an impulse down? Or is this going to be like a real deep correction, which could signify that this is all correction for actually one more up? So I expect a correction next week upwards. Just curious to see how deep they go. All right, so that's the Russell. So I expect correcting up and one more down, and then we'll have to see what type of pattern is in play. Oil. All right, oil. So in my last video, I was saying, that I'm still looking at this as an expanding, I think a leading diagonal, but don't know yet, but a expanding diagonal. And I said the invalidation point was this 73.27, and it was gonna have to reverse really quick, and it did. So they shot it down. So now, and it got pretty much oversold. So I expect like a correction to happen now. Probably come up into this 70 zone, 70 something, and then still one more down. And then at that point, when they break, I'm assuming that this is just going to be a correction, and then they're going to come. Then they'll break both 67.35. I think they'll also break this 66.80, and then it's at this point that this pattern will tell us what it is, because I'm not in love with this expanding diagonal. Like this fourth wave was just so big. So if you're a seller, if you're either in the sell already, or if you're going to sell from maybe in the 70 range, when it breaks this 66.80, you really got to pay attention and either take some profit or at least move your stop loss into profit, because this pattern could still turn out to be, instead of what I think this is a leading diagonal, or a diagonal, I should say. This could be, because we got WXY. This could be, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it could be WXYX, and it'll come down here for Z. And this whole thing will just be an X wave, and then they'll come up in 3 waves to break 7506. And then you'll have WXYXZ. So, because this is so just corrective right in here. There's no way I can make a bull case for this. I mean, this has just been sideways forever since we got into, what is this, May 3rd. I mean, we're exactly the same place that we were on May 3rd, so it's very corrective. I mean, because we came down, it's correcting for down. It's just a matter of, are we coming now? Are we coming down to take out 63? Or is there still one more up for like the Z wave? So yeah, I definitely see a correction up this week, up to here, and then come down and take out the 6680. But it's at this point, are they gonna then stop somewhere here, shy of 63, 64 for one more up? Or are they just gonna charge all the way down? So yeah, so sells, you just got to be careful after 6680. You can make a decision on what should happen, but eventually they'll take out 63, 64. It's just a matter of, have we started now, or is there still just one more up and then down? All right, that's what I say on the markets. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your likes and support, and good luck.